Hello, welcome back to Sushi Live Noding. In this episode, we're gonna do something similar to the previous live noding. So basically, the idea is if you have like a camera, you want to be able to fill the camera frame with the stripes. So this is another example. You can actually do it this way. This is just another method. What I'll be using in this case is the vector P field. So we don't need to do like a vector interpolation whatsoever. And this is actually pretty basic, but I think it's very useful because you can also like use other kind of other shapes if you ever want to fill the camera um, this way. So it's pretty basic, pretty easy as well to set up. You basically specify the scenes, camera render resolution X and Y, and whenever the resolution is changing, and let's see, if I update its Sverchok, this thing will adjust itself. So there is a slight tweak and adjustment you still need to make in order to fill this, but I think this can be useful at some point for you, I guess. So let's get started from scratch because that's where we can really learn what happens. So I'm gonna have like a camera. By default, the camera is created like that. If you Alt R, Alt G, the camera will be reset in position, and maybe you need to push the camera up a little bit so it's a little bit more like that. So I'm gonna save this as SV vector P frame. Go to compositing and let's switch the vector P, create a vector P nodes, and this guy by default looks something like this. If we just right click and then connect to viewer draw, oops, it crashes. Yeah, I need to restart Blender. It's been leaving my computer on overnight. Sorry about this. Start real quick. And okay, we're back. Vector P, compositing, save, vector P. I'm just gonna use viewer draw, connect that thing. So by default, vector P really just create this kind of a voxel arrangement, kind of like a distribution of points as a cube. We don't need the Z for now, so it's just gonna be flat. We just need to worry about the X and the Y. Of course, at this point, you can really already have some kind of a nice distribution for points. If you look through the camera view, you can actually just set it up something like that, and it's actually almost pretty much done. You might want to reduce the Y point, so you can only have like one line like that, and then use the vertices points as matrix transform, and up here you just plug in like something like plane or something for the stripes. So this will actually kind of work already, something like that, and you can increase it in Y. So in actuality, the stripes looking something like that. This is your camera. We want to make stripes like that, right? So that's actually pretty much kind of done, but we can make this a little bit nicer. Kind of make sure that everything is always fit on the frame of the camera. So for that, we can grab this render resolutions X and Y. By default, it's set to 1920 1080 pixel. Right click, copy data path, and in here we can use the object ID set, paste it here, render resolution X and render resolution Y. This is all kind of like a data and parameters that you can source using Python code, but I like using nodes, and this actually helps. If you can do it using nodes, you can actually script it as well. or vice versa. Some people are much better in understanding programming. Now with object ID selector, I grab the scene. If you want to see the data, check it out like this. bpy.data.scenes, the name of the scenes, the current scenes. Just plug this into the object. Like that. And you should get a result, see. 1920 and 1080 pixel. Well, with those two values, I believe we can just put them together like this and divide, and you should get a ratio, some kind of ratio, 1.78. That's the ratio of this camera frame. Plug this into the vector px, I believe that's the, sorry, this is interesting. It doesn't work right away. I need to use a list join somehow. And now it should work. Let's actually increase it in y, and then for this guy make it 0.1. So now the camera frame is much better. And what else we can improve here? Vector p field matrix, accidentally delete that. You can randomize if you like. This will always kind of fit in the camera. You can change this plane, the square with circle, of course. Already show you this. 1, 2, radius smaller. So really it's just a matter of adjusting all these elements. Vertices. We can actually just go back to plane for now. You can adjust the step X and Y. This kind of control the stripes itself. Like so. The scale, the size Y and size Z. Oh, size Z actually kind of like controlling the distance from the camera. That's kind of handy as well. Oh, okay, you can do this as well, like kind of like the matrix. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I think this should be useful. Yeah, I think there's nothing much except that maybe you also, if I look at my setup earlier, I have some kind of multiplier with the X here, so we can do the same thing. File, save as. This is just for convenience. Vector, just a math node. This multiplier. Usually, if I have parameter that I like to use a lot, I just do it like this. Just mark it with color. This is just my own kind of habit. So something like that. That's control the X. That's the Y. And that's the Z for the matrix. This actually can be really useful. Changes to different color. Yep. A little bit dark, but yeah, that's better. So yeah, the setup is very basic. So this is vector p filling space. Get the scenes, render resolution X and Y. Get the ratio, plug in the ratio into the X for now. You can replace it with circle, planes, any kind of shapes. It will fill out the space within the camera. Can be useful for whatever reason. So that's pretty much it for this live loading. Hopefully you find this useful. Let me know and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.